Yo, what's good? You agree with Umar Johnson? Yeah, good for you. Good for you. We're gonna get into it. Good afternoon, everybody. It's your boy, Snapzilla Gorilla, aka the Definition. Welcome to the Definition of Anarchy. Freedom fighters, freedom family, freedom lovers. Freedom marchers. How y'all doing? Give y'all a minute to get up in the building. I know I'm a little early. I left the house a little early. My wife and kids went on a picnic with with other families, with other homeschooling families, to get the teenagers together. So, I'm leaving I was gonna leave today anyway. So I said, I might as well leave early, get back to the apartment early, so I can get some good night's rest. Because we're working 12-hour shifts all next week. I got to come back Tuesday night. I got to go to the dentist Wednesday afternoon. Then I got to go back to Georgia, and then come back Friday. Because I'm going to be off for 2 weeks, 2 whole weeks. I got a 1 week vacation, and then they're shutting the job down for a few days for 4th of July, all that good shit. Anyway, how y'all doing this afternoon? Give y'all a minute to get up in here. We're going to get into it. I'm going to play the audio of what Dr. Umar said, and I'm going to rebut what he says, because it's very important that we understand what the contradictions he's got going on here. We're going to get into it, and that's why I felt it important that I play the audio, because, I don't want to just spitball based on what I think I remember I heard. So we're going to get all into that. I think, Head Deuce is in the building, 22-something, Ronan. I'm going to give y'all a couple more minutes, because I want people to get in here so they can hear everything I have to say. All right? Everything I have to say. It appears that Xander agrees with Umar. We gonna see about that. I mean, you can agree with them, but I don't agree, because there are fundamental points that he made that contradict each other. And so, with that understanding, you might see things a little different, but you might not. You might still agree with them. You might still, and that's perfectly fine. But I just want to shed some light on some stuff, because what I'm not here to do, right, is continue to play this gender war between black and white women, black women and black men. I don't want to do that anymore. We need to move forward. We need to grow, and we need to improve as people. Period. I'm talking about black people, because that's what this is about. Black people, the black community, black families, we need to get it together. And I did do some things this weekend that gave me a lot of hope about where the black community can go. And that just is what it is. I think I see a few people in the chat, but they're telling me I only got one person watching. I don't know how that works, but anyway, we're gonna get into it. So, Dr. Umar Johnson, a very prolific, controversial individual. He's a psychologist, psychiatrist, whatever you want to call it. He has these credentials and all that shit. He was supposed to start a school. That didn't happen, but that's not what this is about. We're going to forget about that part. We're just going to focus on what he says in this video with his own words. All right, I'm not going to, this is not attacking his character. This is attacking his ideas. And in the very beginning, when he starts talking, I'm going to point out the very, very key thing he says that completely just diminishes everything else he says, or vice versa, right? Because you'll see. I'll get into it. We're gonna get into it. I'm gonna talk a little bit more about it. I'm gonna go a little bit in depth, and we're gonna see what's up, man. So without further ado, let me go ahead and start this video, or the audio.
Where you said that feminism has conditioned black women to view black men as the enemy. It has.
Did you hear what the interviewer asked? He said he heard Dr. Umar say that feminism has conditioned. See, what did he say? Y'all heard what he said. Feminism created women to believe that black men are the enemy. Essentially, that's what he said. And he said, that's what he said. He pointed to one of the key reasons we have the conditions we have as black folks in this country. He just pointed to it, right? The interviewer pointed to it. Dr. Umar Johnson said, yes, that's correct. That's what I said. Now, he is going to go even further into explaining how that came about, what was behind it. You understand what I'm saying? So let me, without further ado.
Was financed by the CIA. Gloria, what was her name? Gloria Steinem, I think she was.
Right, yeah.
Mother of modern feminism, because traditional feminism goes back to the 1800s, right? With Susan B. Anthony and those white supremacists.
Understood. You hear what he just said? The CIA funded feminism through Gloria Steinem. Okay, she is the creator of modern feminism, which was what? Backed and financed by the CIA. And around the same time as was media, you know, Operation Mockingbird. The media was being financed and being backed by the CIA. They would push propaganda that the CIA wanted them to push, put out information that they want them to put out. And at the same time, they are backing this modern feminist movement. Understand that. He just told you the biggest problem that we have in the black community, and is going to go even further. Okay, let's continue to go into it.
Gloria Steinem was a CIA agent. They financed her. Her first feminist magazine they paid for. The CIA brought feminism into the white household to get the woman out the house, and into the black household to turn the black woman against the black man.
Did you hear what he just said? Did you hear what he just said? The CIA financed white feminism to get white women out of the home, right? And they financed black. They did the same thing to black women to turn black women against black men. To turn black women against black men. I'm gonna do Umar. I'm gonna do Dr. Umar. To turn black women against black men. To turn black women against black men. He didn't say black men against black women, did he? There was no turning black men against black women, was there? No matter what the CIA could do, we were not turning against black women. But what did they do? They found a way to turn black women against black men. These are key statements. These are true statements. These are truths that are understood to those who care to understand. For those who care to understand, because you have those out there, right, that think the problems and oppression against black people ended when slavery ended on Juneteenth, right? Oh, well, when slavery ended, all the problems went away. You guys were free. You guys did whatever come on, right? You even got black idiots saying this, that, as soon as slavery ended, oppression ended. And the only way to be oppressed in this country is to get a whip on your back, according to fucking stupid ass motherfucking Candace Owens, whose only tactic and only talent she has is to speak over somebody and talk really fast and try to sound really smart. Because she's talking faster than you and louder than you, she's smarter than you, and she knows better. Her dumb ass said, oh, you're not oppressed because you're not getting hit with a whip to somebody, right? In some interview or some debate. But understand, to some of these fucking asshats, slavery ended and black people oppression against black people, it just went away. It just, black people, they had a boot by which to pull themselves by the strap. They had, they just had all these opportunities out of fucking nowhere all of a sudden. Oh yeah. Never mind we couldn't be educated during slavery. Never mind we couldn't have any money during slavery. Never mind any of that. If we got caught reading, If we got caught reading, we was fucked. If we were caught speaking fluent English, understand this, we were not even allowed to speak fluent English. Because if we spoke fluent English, then that meant that, oh, well, at some way they're on our level. No, they can't be on our level. They weren't able to communicate with each other in English, but they lost their language. They took their language but couldn't speak fluent English. So they had to speak broken English, they had to speak in code. That's where slang came from. But no one wants to understand that. They just think people just choose to speak, black people, they just choose to speak ignorantly and dumbly for no fucking reason. Oh, why you want to speak like that? Oh, why you using them words and slanging like that? Oh, I don't fucking know. You tell me. Epigenetics, perhaps? But Dr. Umar just told you. The CIA used feminism, funded feminism to turn black women against black men. To turn black women against black men.
Mm-hmm. To scapegoat us for problems caused for her by white people.
To scapegoat us, as in black men, for problems caused by what he is about to say, the white man. Understand that. He is saying these things in the very beginning of this thing right here. He said that the CIA financed feminism to turn black women against black men, to scapegoat us, as in black men, to blame us for shit that white folks was doing.
So, obviously, a big thing, obviously, we spoke about the gender wars, earlier. Obviously, there's a lot of conversation nowadays about, the value of what a woman brings and the value of what a man brings in a relationship. And now there's a lot more rhetoric from our women that we hear. I'm strong, independent, I don't need no man, right? So,
that's pain speaking, though.
Right.
Because most black women know they will never get a man.
Now, I would have to agree with that. That is pain. That is pain. Pain caused by their mothers and by their fathers. But these problems were foisted upon them by an oppressive system. An oppressive system that didn't just stop oppressing them when slavery ended. That's not how it fucking worked. You had sharecropping, you had Jim Crow, you had all this other shit. You had the civil rights movement that was, they completely, you had segregation, which I'm not against segregation myself, but that's another story. There's a reason. You don't want to force integration, is what I'm saying. But we're going to keep going.
Black woman can have sex whenever she wants, right? Because she's beautiful. She can have a bed mate, but to have a soul mate, she may never get. I have two daughters, 11 and 20. Right? My oldest would be 21 this week. Statistically, right? There's a strong chance my daughter could be one of those. I hope she's not. She could be one of those who never get a husband, because only 1 out of 4 gets a husband. You see that? So when a black woman says, I don't need a man, that is a reaction to the reality that I may not get a man.
So why not preach? You're obviously against interracial relations when it comes to black men with black women. With white women.
With all women. You should only be with the black woman.
And you will say, well, if you can't find a good woman in America, there's
somewhere else.
In
Absolutely.
Africa. So why not teach that same rhetoric to our women? Like,
I do. If you feel I tell sisters all the time, go to Africa. So I know sisters who marry. I just spoke with a sister. She invited me to the wedding. She just married a brother from the continent.
So, but instead of saying they will never get married,
I'll take the sisters to Africa who married brothers they met in Africa.
Right.
So yeah,
I think there's plenty. I think there's obviously.
I'm going to stop it at points because I don't know how the Daily Wrap-Up Show. By the way, this is an interview done on the Daily Wrap-Up Show. Dr. Umar Johnson went on there. I don't know if they go after motherfuckers for copyright. Not that it would work for me because I don't get monetized, so it wouldn't matter anyway. So copyright away. I'm just saying I don't want to get no motherfucking emails. But anyway, about the swirl, I'm not for a swirl myself, right? I think black people and white people, they can live in harmony, they can coexist. But I don't necessarily believe in the swirl. I don't, because there's an issue of relatability, understanding. You see these dynamics in those type of relationships where it can create a problem. All right, it created a problem back in the 40s and 50s for my grandmother who was white and my grandfather who was black. Created big problems. I know that was a different time, but those issues kind of still continue to this day. But anyway, let's keep going.
Women. So
and what I also tell black women, if
married,
you're going to go get you an African man from the continent,
right,
you're going to have to understand that the way in which you talk to black men in America will not be tolerated over there.
Well, the fuck is it's not tolerated here. That's what we try.
Now, I had to jump on the Daily Wrap-Up crew for saying, the dude that said, we don't tolerate it here. Yeah, you do. You do tolerate it here. We do tolerate it here, which is why it's such an issue. Thank you, New York dudes. Thanks to the New York dudes who turn their women into goddamn men, right? They make women very masculine. Not turning women into men. Let me take that back. Let me not be an asshole about it. But they have masculated their women to the point where these New York women think that black men from LA are too soft to handle them. No, we ain't dealing with that bullshit. We ain't dealing with it. Let me tell y'all something. Cali dudes are very cool, laid back, and we get dangerous. It just we don't we don't use the energy just to be rah all the day, right? All the time, right? But I'd say, because I dealt with a New York chick before, and it wasn't about being intimidated, it's about being annoyed. Like, can you shut the fuck up? Like, all this rah shit, like, shut the fuck up. It's not that I was too soft to deal with her. It was like, who wants to put up with that shit? Who wants to put up with the headache? No, y'all do tolerate it. It is tolerated in the United States to have women speak to men any old kind of way, and vice versa, right? There's a certain way men should talk to women. That must be understood. There's a certain way men should speak to women until it comes up. Now, when that woman steps out of pocket, then you got to handle your business. But when that man stands out of pocket, I feel like a woman should just recede and not deal with the motherfucker, right? Because at the end of the day, because women are naturally softer, they're naturally physically weaker, you cannot stand against a man physically. So you should not be confronting men in a manner that would give the impression that you want to fight a motherfucker, right? So my suggestion, if a dude disrespects you verbally, if he's verbally disrespectful, talks you any old kind of way, calls you bitches, do this, does that, cuts you out, don't even deal with him. Don't even deal with him. Because a real man does not have to communicate to a woman like that to get them to acquiesce, to get a woman to submit. I don't do that to my wife unless I'm really frustrated, right? I don't cuss out. I don't do any of that. I cuss in general because I'm a cusser, but I don't like say fuck you bitch and shut the fuck up and do what the fuck I don't need to do that. I don't need to do that. But anyway, let's keep going. Y'all do tolerate it. Come on now. Let's not bullshit here. Let's not.
Well, over here, I want to say this to us though. Because we try to act like the way sisters treat us doesn't have a history that we are not at least partly responsible for. Let's be honest. The black woman has had to hold down the black house by herself.
Let him finish his thought.
Perfectly. She's had to do it by herself since the mass incarceration of black males began in the 90s.
Did you hear what he said? That we have a history that black men, should be blamed for partially in some form or fashion. And then he went on to say that the black woman had to hold the household down. This, that, and the third, had to do it all by herself since the mass incarceration of black men began. I'm gonna repeat that. Black women had to hold down the fort raise the children, do all this, that, and the third, since the mass incarceration of black men started in the 80s and 90s. Why was there mass incarceration during those 2 decades and not before? Did the level of crime that black men committed just skyrocket out of nowhere? Or was there something to it? Or was there a bill, was there a particular crime bill that had black men fucked up? Was there a crime bill that allowed pigs to plant evidence, this tiniest amount of evidence that would get black men a minimum sentence of 5 to 20 years, depending on how much they had? Is there not a history of black men being framed, set up for shit that they never did? Is there not a history of that? Since motherfucking the slaves were free and the introduction of the 13, 14, 15 amendments, where it says, well, we're gonna free the slave. I forgot exactly what amendment that was. Yeah, we'll free the slave, but if they do a crime, we'll be able to enslave them again. Well, they found a way, right? All they had to do was blame black men for shit that they didn't do. They had, they could kill somebody and say, hey, that black man did it. You know what I'm saying? The cop could kill another black man, all this other type of shit. These things happen. But it's our fault. It's the black man's fault because we were set up by a system to remove us from the home. It's our fault that the CIA funded Gloria Albright, whatever the fuck her name is, Gloria Steinem, funded that feminist movement that's purpose was to remove the black man from the home and to turn black women against black men. That's the black man's fault. Oh, we responsible for that. Because of us. Because of us. We removed ourselves from the home. We funded the CIA, which then went on to fund, I guess because we pay taxes. We pay taxes that went to the CIA. I guess it is our fault by proxy. I guess we paid the CIA to have the black. Xander, you right. I agree with that. Why didn't I think about that before? It is black man's fault because we paid taxes. We funded this shit against our knowledge. We didn't know that they were going to use our money against us, but they did. Ha! Well, by golly, I don't even need to do the fucking video anymore. I tip my hat. I tip my hat. You're right, Dr. Umar Johnson. It's our fault because we goddamn pay taxes. You know what? By golly. You got something there. You got something. Xander, my bad. My apologies, man. You right. Dr. Umar's right. Hey, fuck it. I mean, we paid the taxes to have this fucking goddamn government do the fuck shit that they do to us. You got a fucking point. Ha! You know what? Everything the government has done all around the world is our fault because we paid the taxes. We paid the taxes. Never mind, they would lock your ass up if you didn't pay the taxes. If you don't pay the taxes, they'll penalize your ass. Never mind that. Never mind, never mind tax. The tax system is an extortion system, in that we were forced to pay these taxes. They took taxes out of our check, and we filed an exemption, and we didn't have enough motherfucking deductions to motherfucking make up for it. Then they came for us. You right, but you know what? It's still our fucking fault. Why? Because we allow this government to continue to extort us and to use our money against us. But see, it's not just black people, not just black men that pay taxes, right? White men pay taxes, white women pay taxes, black women pay taxes, Asians, we all pay taxes. We work in this fucking country. And if our employer says, hey man, I gotta take taxes out of your fucking check to go to the government, I guess it's everybody's fucking fault then. It's the white man's fault, it's the white woman's fault, it's the black man's fault, it's the black woman's fault, it's the Asian man's fault, it's the Asian woman's fault, it's the Hawaiian's fault, right? The American Samoan, it's their fault. The Puerto Ricans, it's their fault. Everybody's fault because we fucking fund these motherfuckers. We fund the government. We and not only that, we give consent to be governed. So I guess in some roundabout fucked up way, it is black man's fault. But guess what? It's not just the black man's fault. It's everybody's fault. Everyone is to blame. Everybody's fucked. And when everybody's fucked, we fuck ourselves because we continue to put money into this shit. We continue to send our children to institutions. That feeds the government, right? Because guess what? In order to justify all this money going to the institutions, they have to have a certain number of students. We decide to put our fucking kids in these institutions where these fucking perverts are, where they put their jizz on cookies and feed them to them and all this other shit. And when we see that, we're like, oh man, those poor 20 kids in that one classroom. Yeah. We think it's fucking isolated. Yeah. CIA funds the feminist movement to get black women to tell black men to fuck off. But it's black man's fault. Because we secretly wanted it to happen. We went to the CIA and said, hey, CIA, why don't you turn all black women against us? And then tell your governors, tell your the Congress people, tell your senators, tell them to create a law that would give us mandatory minimum sentences for having plant matter in our cars and in our homes. Go ahead and do that. Yeah, that's what we want as black men. Yeah, we fucking orchestrated this whole fucking thing. Do you see the contradictions arising? Do you see the contradictions? He just sat there and outlined how the CIA, how the government set it up, created that was to the detriment of black men and would turn black women against black men, and then go sit up there and talk about we're to blame. Oh yeah, we gotta take some response. Oh yeah, we some of that history is somebody. Yeah, we gotta take some fault for that. The only thing that we're to blame for, I guess, is not resisting the government enough, right? Because who brings this all about? Government. Yeah, we can, like I said, we continue to feed the system. We continue to feed the system that oppresses us. It's our fault, and we know they're doing it. We know we're being fucked, but yet we continue to do the same shit. And we go to the polls and we say, hey, maybe this dictator won't do the same thing that the other dictators have done for over 200 years. And we wonder why shit is the way it is. We wonder why there's so much division among people. We wonder why there is so much oppression. Without the whip, yeah, we don't have a whip. We're not getting whipped every day. We're not getting our hands and feet cut off, but we're still oppressed. You understand what I'm saying? And in what ways are we oppressed? Well, they extort us. They continue to create laws that strip our freedoms away. Right? They continue to assert control over us. They continue to just in thousands to millions of lives just destroyed by the government. I would say that that's some form of oppression. But, according to some idiots like Candace Owens, there has to be a whip involved, right? Let me continue with this shit.
Understand me. Mm-hmm. Most of our children are raised by a single mother right now. Mm-hmm. And it has been that way for about 50 years. So when a sister says, I don't need a man, because she couldn't find one strong enough to hold her down.
That's bullshit right there. Couldn't find one strong enough to hold her down? Get the fuck out of here. Are you fucking serious? Are you fucking serious? How many stepdaddies are in the world. I had a stepdaddy. I had 2 fucking stepdaddies that stepped up. Are you fucking kidding me with this bullshit? You know, there used to be honor, right? Some level of honor in stepping up to be a stepfather. I've seen so many stepdads. Yeah, the real dad ain't there sometimes for whatever reason, right? My dad was a piece of shit. He just decided not to be in my life. Not because he wasn't incarcerated, not because of any of that shit. He just didn't want to. Yeah, that happens sometimes. But guess what? White men do that shit too. You ever hear the story of the white father went out to get some cigarettes and never came to fuck? Listen, no man strong enough? What? Are you fucking serious right now? How many stepdaddies out there? You think these women out here, all the single mothers are raising their kids by, fuck out of here. No. Men have stepped up to be stepdads. Get the fuck out of here. Umar Johnson, you got life fucked up. Dude got life fucked up. He's pandering. Okay? He's pandering, and it's not doing anybody any good. All this is going to do is create more division amongst the black community between black women and black women and black men. That's all this is going to do. All they're going to do, oh yeah, girl, you hear what Dr. Umar said? He said we right. We can continue to... No, that's not how this works. And then you got the other side, the red pill side, the motherfucking manosphere, the no man sphere is what I call it. Pushing the extreme opposite. Oh, she got to be a virgin, and she got to be a 22-year-old virgin, and this, that, and the third. She got to be pure, and all these other, like, unrealistic. Like, it's not going to fucking happen. 9 times out of 10. 9 times out of 10. You know, and then, you know, you got the fresh and fit characters, and Daily Wrap-Up Crew, from what I've seen, not really that bad. They don't really go in like the fresh and fit crew does against women. They don't really go in like that. What I think about the Daily Wrap-Up Crew is that they're frustrated because they feel like they're not being understood as men, and I think a lot of women maybe overlook these cats, and like they're tired of being overlooked, and they're voicing their shit. You know what I'm saying? I can't relate, but I can understand a little bit. I can't empathize, but I sympathize, right? Or is it the other way? I can't sympathize, but I empathize. Whatever. Well, whatever one that I empathize. Do you empathize because you can kind of understand what they're going through, but haven't gone through it? Whatever the fuck one that is. Whatever. So, I mean, it's just, there's too many extremes. There's like he's at the end of the day, everybody is responsible for their own actions. Everybody is responsible. You grown ass women, a grown ass woman. I am not responsible for what a grown ass woman does at a club. I ain't responsible for what a grown ass woman wears on Instagram and goes around twerking and that. I'm not responsible for a grown ass woman who decides to go get skeeted in and have babies by different dudes. I'm not responsible for that. I'm not gonna set the blame for that. It's her that's her responsibility. I'm not going to be held accountable for that. Period. I'm not going to be held accountable for that. I'm only going to hold myself to account for the women in my sphere of influence. And the women in my sphere of influence are damn good women. You understand what I'm saying? Especially now that I'm out of, you have to control your own environment. You have to put yourselves in better environments, right? I removed myself from Los Angeles because I was like, my wife is hanging out with all these single, can't get no man women, and they be tripping, like, and my wife, I didn't want my wife necessarily hanging out with these single women. All they want to do is go out, get drunk, go somewhere, get drunk, this, that, and the third, hang out drunk, doing all this silly shit. you know, being hung over for hours and hours the next day, like, you know, destroying her body. It's just ridiculous. I had to remove my family from that scenario and that situation. And also, you know, it had a lot to do with the politics of California, you know, the danger that was mounting, and all kind of other things. But you understand what I'm saying? I took accountability for whoever I had influence over, which was my wife and my kids. I took I said we getting the fuck out of here. And guess what? Since we've been here, my wife has gotten her health back in order, right? Because she was going off the deep end with her health. She got her health back in order. She lost 50 fucking pounds. You know what I'm saying? I've been training her to get her health back in order. She quit drinking so much. She had half a shot last night and couldn't even finish the whole shot. She's eating better. And most importantly, we're meeting all kind of families. She's made like 4, 5, or 6, 7, 8 friends, women who are all fucking married, all have kids, homeschool, have these, you know, these goals and aspirations, who have husbands that are hella cool that I met. That I was like, okay, that's a cool cat right there. And we're actually having productive conversations about how we can improve our situation as a black community, as a community, period. Like, this is what we're doing out here in South Carolina. That wasn't happening in California. I try to have these conversations. They don't want to fucking hear it. Okay, well, you know, I'm gonna put myself in a scenario, in a situation where it can be heard. Now my wife is better off. Her health is in order. She's more active with the kids. She's always been active with the kids, but now she's way more active. Like, she got my kids going to goddamn lacrosse classes. She has the energy to take my kids and put them in these classes. You know, my son's doing jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai, archery, like, you know, volleyball, all these things, you know, my children, and they're meeting more and more kids. As a matter of fact, they're on the way to a picnic with a couple families, and we're all about to put this homeschooling program together, which will hopefully give me the opportunity to stop fucking working out there and work with my family and work with homeschool kids and all this other shit. And that would be what I would be doing basically almost full time, and on top of doing my other YouTube channels that I want to do. But you have to, but see, my wife had to take responsibility for her role and where her health was going. You know, all I could do was guide her. I can't force her to do shit, but I can put some fire on her ass, and that's what I did. And one big step that I took to do that was remove her from a situation that was really bad. Let me tell y'all, I don't really put my business out there like that, but it was spiraling, okay? There was some spiraling going on with my wife. So, got that back on track. Now she's happier, healthier, you know, she's glowing more, you know, all these other things. And she's always been a great woman, you know. But now I'm comfortable enough she's going to California on the 6th for like a week, just to visit family and all that other shit. And I feel comfortable enough to know that she's going to go out there, she's not going to go crazy, all these other things. But guess what? If she goes out there and acts a damn fool, that's her. That's on her. You know what I'm saying? Something happens to her, she feels sick, whatever. She goes out there, gets all super drunk and all this other shit, and decides that she wants to goddamn, you know, whatever silly shit she want to do. Hey, that's on her. I can't be responsible for what she's doing in LA. All I can do is say, hey, which I've been saying, hey, don't go out there acting no damn fool now. I'm saying? Like, and guess what? One of these single chicks is my sister. You know what I'm saying? And my sister has been trying to get with a man and all, but she's one of those women where she felt like, I guess, well, she had a dude. She got 2 kids by the same dude, and she hasn't been with very many people at all. She's only been with like 2 people, really, like that. And the dude was a piece of shit. Dude was trash. So he's one of those dudes that was a deadbeat, a literal deadbeat. And guess what? She never took his ass to get child support. She never went after him for child support. You know what I'm saying? But my sister was one of those chicks that she was hanging out with. You know, and understand that when single women are in the mix, they don't have any understanding about wifely duties. You understand what I'm saying? They don't have any understanding. My sister only had some understanding because she was my sister, and she knew what I was doing for my wife. You know, so it wasn't no silly situation with infidelity or anything going on. It was just, you can't be going out and getting slide and coming home and take care of the goddamn kids while I go to work. Like, it don't work like that. No, it don't work like that. You're not single no more. You can't be. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter where you. If it was at my sister's house, at my sister's friend's house, because she wasn't going to no clubs or nothing like that. She would just go over there and, like, you can't do that. And you're not a single woman. You're a wife and a mother, and you get your shit together. Period. So I mean, I had to really step into her like that, and she was having some level of improvement while we were still out there. She was doing a lot better. But at the end of the day, and that wasn't really the reason I left Cali, but it definitely helped, and it improved her situation. You know what I'm saying? Now she's freaking healthier than a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, just healthy, more vibrant, more energetic. You know what I'm saying? And she's meeting people. She's doing things. She's doing a real estate situation. All these other things that she was not able to do in California. You know? But anyway, moving on, man. Dr. Umar Johnson, you full of shit. No strong man stepping up. See, this is that bullshit. This illusion and this fucking lie that there aren't enough strong black men stepping up. Are you fucking serious? How many black men I saw, just strong black men in the South that I have met that are working, hard-working men. You know what I'm saying? I work with a lot of them. Hell, we was in a ditch. You know, I'm a supervisor, so I don't have to put on my gloves and get down in the ditch with them, but I was, because, you know, I wanted to show, and I wanted to put a little work in. I do still enjoy sometimes getting down in there and putting the work in, but, you know, you show them that, hey, man, I can get down in here with you. But I mean, all just a underground conduit. We run underground conduit for electrical services, and they're down in there putting that PVC together. You know what I'm saying? In the hot ass sun. Just a bunch of black men. You know what I'm saying? How many black families I've met? Just in my neighborhood, a good neighborhood in my town in South Carolina, full of black families, a black man, a black wife, and black children, doing things, being productive. You know, not fucking, you know, being ratchet and ghetto and all that shit. No. So this illusion, this bullshit that, oh, there aren't strong black men out there. Oh, you know, the black men don't want to work. Black men don't want to do this job, that job. You know what's going on in Florida right now? You know what happened in Florida? For so many years, illegals have gone to Florida and did all this work, right? Taking all these jobs. And they want to tell you, oh, well, You know, they're doing the work that you don't want to do. That's bullshit. Complete and utter bullshit. The thing is, they go out there and they work for less wages. Right? They work for less wages. They take less pay. That's more enticing to the contractor. So yeah, of course. But they're going to tell you the lie. Oh, we don't have black men that want to come to work. No, they don't want to come to work. Even white men. They're even saying white men don't want to do the job. Oh, white men and like black men and white men. We don't want to do nothing. We don't want to do nothing. We lazy. We don't want to go out there in no ditch. We don't want to dig no holes. We don't want to dig no trenches. We don't want to do any of that, right? No, it's because it's cheaper labor. And they don't have to go through all the hoops, right? You know, and you know, they give kickbacks to these politicians to overlook this and that and the third. They give these kickbacks to the goddamn the ICE and immigration. Please, these motherfuckers get bread, mad bread. Okay, to overlook where illegals are. Trust me, they know where these motherfuckers is at. They get paid to overlook it. These contractors are saving a lot of money. Anyway, Governor DeSantis has issued an order to shut down all these job sites in Florida until they get all the illegals out of there. So if you're on a construction site, you have to shut that shit down. Get your illegals out of there. So we had like 10 or 15 dudes from Florida working on my job site in Georgia. Guess what? As soon as them illegals got off of there, they took their asses back to Florida to go to work. To work in Florida. Because the illegals are gone. And now they got it. These contractors down there, they gotta get the job done. They're losing money. They're hemorrhaging. So guess what? These black men, these Floridian black men that were on my job site, they quit. They took their asses back to Florida to go to work. Good for them, right? Good for them on construction sites, getting paid, bro, and to be closer to their house. Yes, bless up to them. They want to work. These are fucking lies. I'm out there I'm a blue collar motherfucker. I see it. Hell, when I was in LA, when we were trying to get more apprentices, the line was going wrapped around the goddamn building, going around the block at the apprenticeship program. Line full of black men trying to get into the apprenticeship program to become electricians. Don't let these motherfuckers lie to you and tell you that black men are lazy. Black men ain't strong enough. Black men don't want to step up to take care of kids. It's a fucking lie. Are there some black men that don't want to do it? There's some black men that don't. Yeah. Yeah. But not at the level or degree that Umar Johnson is trying to convey it. No. Not even close. Not even close. Not even close.
When you meet a woman and you say, sister, I'm strong enough to be your man. You ain't got to work or you ain't got to pay the bills or whatever. Pull back. I got you. And she can't do it because all the other men before you who So what I'm saying is, black men, we got to be patient with our women because we created that personality. We created that. And then we want to act like we didn't.
How did we create that personality? What? We created what personality? We made women? What are you talking about? What about all the women that disappointed men in relationships? What are you talking about? So you meet a good woman, and because, oh, well, you know you have some trauma from all these other black women that treated me like dog dirt shit. I'm going to blame, I can't deal with that with you. So it's all black women's fault? No, maybe there's something that I'm doing in these relationships where I keep getting into these relationships that I am getting fucked up in. If I'm getting ran up and through there by all these women, I have to assess who is the common denominator with all these women. Who's the common denominator? I am. I can't continue to blame black women as a whole because of what a few black women I've dated. have done to me. I have to look inside myself and assess what happened here. Start thinking about conversations you had. Okay, I remember saying this. I remember being an asshole about that. I remember not speaking up about this. I remember being super jealous all the time. I remember calling her every 10 seconds while she's at work, asking, is you sucking somebody's dick? I got to think about what I did. What did I do to all these women? What is the common denominator? I mean, give myself as an example. I learned early on. I had a few women that had my nose wide fucking open, but I was done with that by my early 20s. The first real girlfriend I ever had, I was 18 years old, she was 24. Nose wide open like a motherfucker. She taught me a lot. Still, I got with my ex-wife, my first wife. You know what I'm saying? I call myself, we used each other, right? We used each other. I used her to get benefits from the Army, and she used me to get benefits from the Army. And she gave good head. I gave good head. We fucked each other really good. It was something good. But it wasn't a real marriage. And I was part of the reason for that, not just her. And when she put her hands on me, you know what I'm saying? Whatever happened there, I continued to deal with her a little bit after that. Well, because of the position she put me in, because she fucked when I was getting ready to get out of the Army, she went and bought a car in my name in Texas. So I had to go to Texas, pretend like I wanted to be with her after I got out of the Army in Texas. But at the same time, she knew that I had gotten some severance pay from the Army. You know, because I had saved up a lot of leave time and all this other shit. So I had money saved up. She knew I had that money saved up. She thought she was going to gaffle me for some of my money, that I was going to just pay for this, pay for that. You know what I'm saying? And me, I was going out there to take my fucking car back and drive to California, which I ended up doing. The point is, she did shit, I did shit. I accepted shit, she accepted shit. Those black women that Dr. Umar talking about, they accepted certain behaviors from these men. There's something that they saw. Oh, that maybe they like the bad boy nigga. Maybe they like the street dude, the dude that they he's so fascinating, exciting. You know, he's dangerous and he's this, that, and the third. Look at him, right? The epitome of masculinity. But what does that come with? That comes with fuckboy shit. You don't want the boring dude, because the boring dude is boring. He's just gonna go to work. He's gonna come home. He's gonna go to work. He's gonna come home. He has to go to work for hours and hours in order to afford to pay for me to do some shit that I want to do. Whereas the street dude, he can go hit a lick. In about an hour, he can hit a 1 hour lick and come back, and we can go motherfucking. He can go buy me a Gucci bag and do that. These are choices, right? It's not that, oh, well, that man made me do this, and that man, oh, he gave me the personality. Get the fuck out of here. Now we're giving people personalities? Like, are you fucking serious? I thought this dude was a psychologist. Is he serious? He really expects you to believe that black men give black women personalities that make them want to choose men that ain't for shit. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What? And what? Okay, so, okay. Then let's do it like this. Let's hit this paradox up real quick. What makes the black man, the black thug dude, want to go out and do thuggish, rugged shit? Want to be the Smokey? Want to be the Ray and the Pookie? Well, they have seen growing up that that's what women in the hood are attracted to. They're attracted to the Pookies and Ray Rays. They give all the pussy to them. Whereas the square motherfucker that's going to school with his backpack and all this other shit, and there's no, you know, and all that other shit in his motherfucking high water zone, he ain't getting no fucking play. So then the woman must have given this Pookie and Ray Ray, the Pookie and Ray Ray personality. Where does it stop? This is a fallacy that he is explaining right now. He is being completely fallacious. You can't. That doesn't make any sense. You cannot explain away the behavior of an individual because they had experiences in the past. No. If they had a certain pattern of behavior, you have to explore, right? Or a pattern of if they have a pattern of circumstances, right? Like, oh, this dude keep fucking me and leaving me. I didn't have 20, 30 dudes in the past. They just keep fucking me over. If that's happening, you have to explore why is that happening. You can't just say, oh, well, they were all black men, and now she has a certain attitude toward black men, and so she's giving this same attitude toward black men and treating black men this way. So it must be the black man's fault. That's fucking stupid as fuck. You talking about a guy who has a degree in psychology and all this bullshit, but he doesn't understand how to discover what made that woman that way. Really, what really made that woman that way? What really gave her that pattern of thought? What really created the situation that she keeps finding herself in? What is she doing? What is she doing to contribute to this? To contribute to these outcomes? No, we're just gonna blame the black man. Oh, the black man fault. Oh yeah, we gave her the personality, and because he has this Candace Owen-esque way of speaking, oh no, he can't be challenged. No one can say anything. He can say whatever the fuck he wants. And because people don't know how to think for themselves, and because they have this confirmation bias, they're like, oh well, he's Dr. Umar Johnson. He knows what the fuck he's talking about, when clearly he fucking doesn't. To make a statement like he just made, after outlining right in the beginning a situation saying that the CIA funded feminism to have black women turn against black men, after saying that, after acknowledging that, after putting that out there in the world for everybody to hear, he then turns around to say, oh well, you know, black men created this personality. What? In my minion voice. Like, really? Really, think about that for a second. Black men we gave black women this personality because of all the ain't shit dudes that she dealt with in the past. Even though the CIA funded feminism, modern day feminism, to turn black women against black men. And to get white women out of the home so that they can earn wages to consume, right? To consume, to feed the fucking corporate beast, right? They had an agenda, right? They had an agenda. It's like blaming white men for inflation. I'm talking about the regular white man. Oh well, my wife went out and got a job because she insisted on getting a job thanks to feminism. So now, because everybody's buying everything and there's so much demand and there's so much more consumerism, prices on everything is going up. And when there's a crash, when there's a recession, all these jobs get lost, and all of a sudden we can't afford the shit that we used to be able to afford because my wife had to quit. She lost her job because guess during the recession what jobs go first? All the retail fucking jobs. That's what women were going into. They were going into the retail workspace for the most part, and being secretaries and shit like that. Those are the jobs that go first. So because of all this consumption, all this consuming, because we had to go, well, women, you got to go out and get a job because this and the third. It's like blaming the white husband for that. Oh, you gave her the personality to want to go get a job. You gave her the personality to want to go buy shit. You gave her the personality, blah, 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 blah. Like, get the fuck out of here. What are you talking about, bro? This really, that really irked me. Black men gave black women a personality? Like, what? Oh boy. At what point are our parents responsible for the type of adults we become? At least partly, right? And then we come of age and we experience enough of life to start making our own decisions, and our parents' influence either wanes or it increases based on what type of experiences we had that they prepared us for. If they prepared us for certain experiences and certain things, and those things happen and we were well prepared for that, hell, we're gonna be like, man, my parent was a fucking sage. My dad was a sage motherfucker. That motherfucker knew what he was talking about. Or sometimes the shit don't go like that. But black men as a whole, we gave black women a personality that shat on black men, and they can't keep a man because black men gave them a personality to not keep a man. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Can we get an understanding? Can we talk to that woman and say, hey man, okay, so you said the last 3-4 dudes dogged you out. What happened exactly? What led to that? Did they just dog you out of nowhere, or were there conversations? When did you notice a change in your relationship with those men? Try to find out what the fuck happened. Are you repeating a behavior that is driving men away? What? Let me keep going.
We have to be held accountable for their poor selection.
No, you have to be held accountable. No, you have to be held accountable.
See, what old boy said was a great question. We have to be held responsible for their poor selection. No, you good. Yeah, come on, man. Umar. He's gonna try to pull a rabbit out of his ass. Come on.
Because they have a poor selection.
We had to be held responsible because they have a poor selection. Black men are now, the black male community is filled with poor selections of men. Oh, they don't have a good selection of men in the black community. Do you hear what this bullshit? See, this is what emboldens these women to sit up here and have these conversations. And this is what bolsters these red pill men to continue down the path they're continuing down. Do you understand? Dr. Umar Johnson, if there was any improvement between black female and black male relations, you just fucking I mean, if we took 2 or 3 steps forward, you just made us take 4 or 5 steps back. There's a poor selection? Wow. Talk about doubling down on stupid. Dr. Umar Johnson is not really that intelligent, is he? He just wants to be right. He has to be right. Oh, no. We can't blame black women for shit. They can't be held accountable for anything. It has to be our fault. Okay. Black women can't be held responsible for their poor selection because it's our fault, because we're just not a good selection of black men. You know what he sounds like? A goddamn white supremacist. That's what he sounds like. But far be it from me to say anything, because hey, it's Dr. Umar Johnson, right? I'm just a Army veteran electrician. I don't know shit about psychology. I don't know shit about human behavior or human condition. I didn't go to school for this shit. He did. But he's committing all the fallacious statements. He's the one making all the fallacious statements. Wow.
See, what you're saying, you're selecting a poor mate. And what I'm saying is they don't have much to select one, so of course you're going to end up with a poor mate.
You hear this bullshit? Do you hear this bullshit? Do you hear this bullshit? She ain't got much to choose from in the black man space. There's not many good black men to choose from. So of course she's going to end up with a bad mate. Is there any point at which perhaps maybe by some small miracle or by some, is there any possibility that perhaps she's a bad mate? Maybe she's just a bad mate. Maybe she's not attracting a good man. Maybe she's attracting a poor selection. Now there's not enough good black men. What? This is crazy.
With a poor mate, because we as black men are not raising black boys to be the men that our women need.
You see how he talks? Wait, because this is what they teach you in speech, right? When in speech classes or debate classes or communication courses. The way he talks, the way he so resoundingly says something, like it's supposed to have, like it's fact. It has to be a fact because of the way he said it, right? You gotta watch people like this because they'll say some stupid ass shit, but they'll say it in a way that it sounds amazing, and you'll think, oh, this motherfucker's right. It's just like Eminem, right? Everybody swears up and down Eminem is just this great rapper, this great lyricist, this, that, and third. But he's not really he's not that great to me. Because I don't just listen to the inflection in his voice. I don't just listen to his delivery, right? Delivery is a good part. Delivery is a big part of hip hop, right? You got to, have that good delivery to capture people's attention. But if you're saying some stupid shit, people like me who look beyond just delivery, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Hey kids, do you like eyelids? Do you like to do what my mom did and sit on the toilet and have a bunch of kids and squirt out your mouth and have a sit and do the boo boo and the woo? Like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, what do you? We black men aren't raising the black boys to be black men that women need. I can't even do it. I don't have the ability to speak in a way that I don't have that slick talk shit. Like, that motherfucker got the slick talk shit that just has you like, oh, well, you must be right then. Oh, you saying it with such conviction? No. I do say shit with conviction. I do speak with conviction. But come on, bro. Black men are not raising black boys to be the type of men women need. What the fuck are you talking about, man? What the fuck are you talking about? Where you getting this data? Is there some research that has been done? Are you studying black fathers and how they raise their sons? I'm just curious, like real shit. He's just saying shit at this point. He's saying shit to pander. That's what he's doing. He's pandering to black women. He want to fuck all the conscious strippers he can get his hands on. All right, never mind that was an ad hominem. Let's throw that to the side. What I'm saying is, he's not even saying shit that's true. He's not even saying anything factual. But the way he says it, he has such a commanding voice that anybody else in the room, they can't challenge him. No one's challenged him at this point. They be like, oh, well, what about this? What about that? No, you got to challenge people like this. You got to shut their ass down when they're saying shit. Sometimes you got to cut a motherfucker off. But hold on, killer. Hold on, killer. That's the bullshit. We get that from. I challenge him. Where's the data on that? Black fathers aren't raising black boys to be the type of men that women need. Where you getting that? Where the fuck you getting that information from? Like, you can't just let people like that just run off at the mouth saying silly shit.
They out there killing themselves right now. What we doing about it? Unemployed black males, what we doing about it? Pants sagging, weed smoking, what we doing about it?
Who got their ass? Who got a hold of Dr. Umar and turned him into Brandon Tatum? That motherfucker Brandon Tatum in disguise. Let me tell you, Brandon Tatum then took over Umar Johnson's body. And listen, I almost want to guarantee this, that Brandon Tatum is going to see this clip, and he's going to clip it, and he's going to play it in a video. He's going to make a video about what Dr. Umar Johnson just said in the last 3-4 minutes. Pants sagging, weed smoking. You know, I've come across a lot of black people, and I don't see them smoking weed and their pants sagging. I don't see that. I see a lot of this narrative. It just, oh my God. Not even of killing each other. Come on, man. Come on. There are plenty of black men out there that are squares, working class, that want a woman, that want to have children. They're just not, these women aren't looking at them. They ain't going for them. They ain't checking for them. They checking for them dangerous dudes. Why? Because women are attracted to dangerous men. Women are attracted to dangerous men. And they don't think you can be dangerous if they don't see you out there looking dangerous with the swagger and all that other shit. They look at you in a suit, or they look at you with your tool bags on. They don't think that you can be dangerous, right? And most women aren't checking for that, especially young women. They don't necessarily understand it until they get older, 30-something years old maybe. My wife, she knew what it was early on. She was 22 years old when she wanted to get with me. She snatched my ass up. Now we've been together for 14 years. You know what I'm saying? But she knew, like, she changed her mindset, right? My wife changed her mindset early in life. She was like, you know what? I want a good man that's going to work in class, this, that, third, I can get babies to, that's going to take care of me, and is a good man. And that's what she knew in her mind. This is what she said. She told me this plenty of times throughout the years. She changed her mindset. Interesting how that works. She changed her mindset and started behaving. Well, she's always been she's never really been like ratchet or anything, but she's always been soft, feminine, all these things, agreeable, you know what I'm saying? And just ready to allow a man, not allow, but ready to give herself to a man that had that traditional mindset. She changed her mindset and attracted a dude like me. And well, yeah, I mean, kind of. She went after me, right? She chose up. She was like, hey, told my brother she wanted, she was interested in me. And then it went from there. Changed her mindset. You know what I'm saying? She changed her mindset. And then she attracted the type of man she wanted. A man that she knew that what I was capable of. She knew what type of head I had on my shoulders. She knew what direction I was headed in. Based on, observation. She observed me throughout the years, I guess, whatever. However she came about that, she changed her mindset. You know what I'm saying? Because she could have easily spent her 20s banging this dude, that dude, whatever. Sold her wild oats in her 20s. She could have waited till she was 30-something to try to find somebody, but she didn't do that. She changed her mindset. She said, let me quit bullshitting. let me attract the type of man I want by doing and changing things. So that's what she did. Boom, she got what she wanted, and it worked out pretty well for her, I'd say. She changed her, like, she had to look at things differently, right? And she knew that a somewhat older man was probably going to be the ticket. And guess what? She had known me for years. I was her cousin's best friend. Basically, the vetting process happened naturally. And there you have it. So, okay, let me see what he's saying.
Are not raising black boys to be the men our community needs. That is 100% our fault. What I'm saying is she got a right to be angry with us. She got a right to be angry with us. We have not been on our job as black.
See, dude, I understand that. You don't understand it. Because it's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. There are plenty of black men out here that are doing great things for communities that you'll never hear about. You'll never hear about it from the news because they don't want to highlight that. They want to highlight the negative shit in the black community. They're not going to highlight the good things that people are doing. And they're not going to get the financial support. But they're doing their very best. I myself, along with other brothers out here where I'm at, we're working on that very thing. But guess what? It's not going to be overstated. No one's going to highlight it. No one's going to do that. No one's going to do this. Even the black boy, King something from Albany, Georgia, the one that Brandon Tatum interviewed, right? He has a school. He's a young man, 20-something years old, has this school in Georgia, and where he is, it's basically a school for black boys to become black men, basically. Yeah, he was highlighted for about 10 minutes. Have you heard from him, King Randall? Who has heard anything about King Randall since that time that Brandon Tatum interviewed him all those years ago? Has Brandon Tatum brought him back on? Has Brandon Tatum went to his school and said, hey, look at what's going on here. Look at the great work this guy's doing. Have you seen Fox News over there? Have you seen CNN over there, CBS? No. What about the black families in Georgia that bought all that land, the 91 acres of land, to split among the however many families? I think 11 or some families, 20, whatever. Has anybody ever highlighted the shit that they're doing? Hell, they're doing great things right now. I mean, they do these Juneteenth things. They have different programs, this, that, there. What about the Survival Sisters? Anybody know about them? You're not gonna hear anything about that. Dr. Umar should know better. He should know, right? But he has to so desperately shift the blame away. Everything is the black man's fault. Everything for all this crazy shit people do. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not gonna do it. Everybody has listen. People can step up to be a leader, right? But if you don't want to be led, if you don't want to be guided, that's on you. Leaders don't force themselves on the people. Leaders don't force leadership on the people. They guide, right? They lead by example. If you don't want to follow that example, if you don't want to, you want to keep doing the shit that you've been doing that ain't working, that's on you. I can't be responsible for that. I'm not. What do you want us to do? What do you want black men to do? That works. That's force. It's not going to work if you do it by force. They have to see the light. They have to be shown and understand their role in their situation. Black men, hey, I understand the role black men played in our situation. You know, even though, you know, they flooded our neighborhood with drugs, we didn't have to sell the drugs, right? We didn't have to do that. We didn't have to do this. You know, we didn't have to so easily get infiltrated by this. We didn't by government agents. We didn't have to do that. We could have vetted people a little bit more. We didn't have to be so eager to let white people join the organization without vetting them. We didn't have to just sit up here and let you black, you in. No, we didn't have to do that. We could have had a better vetting system. We could have been a little bit more careful. We could have not been so easily incited. Yeah, there are certain things that we could have done that could have perhaps changed the outcomes. But hell, we're only responsible for what we're responsible for. You know what I'm saying? Like, real shit. I can't even force my wife to do anything. I can't. That she don't want to do. All I can do is tell her, hey, there's certain things that if you want to be with me, that you got to get in line with. You got to get on my program. If you want to be with me, you got to be on my program, period. That's it. That's all I can do. Because she could just leave me. What I'm going to do, make her stay with me? No, it don't work like that. This idea that we're supposed to just sit up here and just make black women act right, make them, no, it's not how this works. No more than a black woman can make a black man do what they want. No, it doesn't work like that. You know, like it's asinine. This is completely retarded.
Men are the providers. What have we been providing for our community? I'm not speaking you individually.
Yes.
Because you may be a damn good father. You may be a damn good father. You may be a damn good father. But guess what? What are we doing for the community? What are we doing for the children who don't have a?
What are you doing for the community, Umar? That's like asking you, what are you doing for the community? Again, this idea that black men, we just ain't doing shit for the community. We just not. When we know what we're up against. We know what we up against. We know what we have been up against. Every time we have brought our community up high and become prosperous, what has happened? Shit got blown up. Shit got set on fire. Mass lynchings. You know what I'm saying? Redlining. Redistricting. You know what I'm saying? Not funding school. All these things. Forcing us laws. All these laws. Oh, you got to obey the law because the legislator made a law. We got to obey it and this, that, and the third. Even though it fucking stifles us as a people. Why are we paying taxes to a government that don't give a shit about us? We should be putting money into our own community. Right? That's what we should be doing. Listen, I'm not going to get into all that about black business and access to production that others have that we don't. It's an unfair system, right? That is set up a certain way. But apparently, if you don't have a whip going to your back, none of that shit is oppression. It's just, you got to pull yourself up by your bootstrap. Well, what these other motherfuckers got to do? Do they got to pull up their shelf? Do they got to pull themselves up by their bootstraps? Why black people got to pull themselves up by their bootstraps? But no one else has had to. Oh, well, you just got to work harder than the next man. Okay, I'm working hard, but why do I have to work harder than that person to get the same level of success? You see what I'm saying? Why do I have to work harder than the next man to achieve the same level of success? Because there's this stigma of black people being lazy, don't want to do shit, doing this, that, and third, like having attitudes. I can tell you about a couple white boys on the job site right now that ain't worth a damn. Okay? Ain't worth a shit. Lazy as a motherfucker. Don't listen. Don't want to do nothing, coming in late. Miss me with the bullshit. This is like Dr. Umar Johnson is perpetuating propagandic talking points. He is perpetuating white conservative talking points to pander to black women when it ain't doing nothing but being a detriment to black women. He is this motherfucker right here, man. Umar Johnson is doing more damage to the black community than Brandon Tatum ever could, because no one in the black community like that is going to listen to what B. Tatum says. But somebody like Dr. Umar Johnson, who has established such a reputation within the black community of being pro-black, he's the Prince of Pan-Africanism, this, that, and the third, sitting up here spewing this bullshit rhetoric about black men. Get the fuck out of here. No. That snake can't seduce me. That snake charmer ain't gonna seduce a snake like a motherfucker. Let me tell you something. But that's just me. I mean, I have a little bit more discernment. I see the bullshit. I can see I saw the contradictions as soon as I saw the goddamn video. I didn't have to watch it 2 or 3 times. I was like, are you serious right now? You sat up here and contradict yourself within 5 minutes. We only been watching, by the way, we've only been listening to about 4 minutes of this 17-minute segment. And I'm not even going to listen to the whole goddamn 17 minutes. I feel like I've done my job. I feel like I've done what I came to do. You understand what I'm saying? Idiot. Just dumb.
You don't think the black woman got a right to be angry when she's been raising 2/3 of the kids by herself for 50 years? And the minute she raised her voice, we say she not humble enough? She had to become masculine to survive the rape, the molestation, the domestic abuse. Are you telling me you can't see how we created that?
I understand that, but she needs.
If we was loving our women and taking care of our women, do you think she would be like that?
We ain't loving our women and taking care of our women? Really? And about the R word in the molestation. What? But what did he say? In the beginning, what did the CIA do? They turned black men, they set out to deliberately turn black women against black men, cause the mass incarceration of black men, and get them to blame us for shit the white men did. Yet he's doing it 2-3 minutes later. He's doing the same shit that he said the government convinced the black women to do, is to blame black men for everything. If we're incarcerated and our children and black women are bringing dudes into the home and we're in prison, right? What percentage of exonerations, what percentage of exonerees are black? 72%. What is the whole point of exoneration? To overturn a conviction that was wrongful. 72% of exonerees had wrongful convictions that had been overturned. Imagine the number of black men that did not do what they were convicted of and still had to sit up in that motherfucking prison, died in prison, all that type of shit. He told us that the CIA funded the feminist movement to turn black women against black men and to blame black men for shit the white folk did. And he's doing the same shit. He's doing it right now. He's placing all the blame on black men. And he sounds very convincing, but again, I call bullshit. These women that he's talking about that are speaking up, some of them don't even have children. What are you talking about? And now all single mothers have children that were molested and raped. What are you talking about? See how he's using pathos, right? Emotionalism to prove his point. But again, when you spew this rhetoric, you're blaming black men for trauma that they had nothing to do with. What happened? Some black people, some people were R-worded, some people were M-worded, right? The person that did it is their fault, okay? The person that did that to that woman, the person that did that to that child, they did that. Black men as a whole. So black men as a whole, I guess we're responsible for every R-word and M-word that happens. You know, it's not the individual that did it. It's our fault because why? How's it our fault? How's it our fault? Women can't listen, and it's not that woman's fault either. Well, if that's woman's fault, if she knows what's happening to her child, which happens a whole lot, but you don't want to lose that man, so you just turning a blind eye to it. So now at that point, it's her fault and it's that man's fault that's doing the dirty deed. But if that man's doing that dirty deed and that woman doesn't know about it, you can't blame her either. But I tell you what, if that child tells you, Mr. Blah, blah, blah is doing this, that, and the third to me, you better listen to it and do some investigating and see what you can do. But at the end of the day, black men are not to blame for this. No. If a man leaves you, it's that man's fault. You have to look at the type of choices you make. It's not that you had a bad selection. No. He said that they have a bad selection. Men. You hear that, black man? He's the CIA financed feminism to turn black women against. Fuck is that serious? If you have any level of, why are they agreeing with the shit Umar is saying when they know he's fucking pandering? Why? Because he's commanding, and you know they feel like he has this alpha presence. They don't want to, like, you can't be intimidated by people like this. He's saying stupid shit. He sounds like a fucking idiot, but because he's saying it in a way that, oh, he's Dr. Umar, he's such an orator. Oh, look at the way he speaks. You know, they will get you with the way they talk. These fucking snake oil salesmen, these manipulators. He's manipulating these dudes, right? Much like Andrew Tate manipulates men, right? Because Andrew Tate can do some of the same shit on the opposite side of the spectrum. Where is the balanced conversation? Where's the balanced conversation? Not just spewing back and forth of talking points. Where is the balanced conversation? That's what we need to have.
If she's picking Pookie and Ray Ray instead of
you're making her a scapegoat.
No, she's picking a scapegoat.
No.
You hear what he said? If she's picking a Pookie and Ray Ray, and Umar saying, "Oh, you're creating a scapegoat." How is that? When she's making a choice, if she's choosing this dude that she knows is a scammer, and she knows is getting money the fast way, and perhaps the wrong way, and she's deciding, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and fuck with him anyway. If she's choosing to fuck with a dude that got 6 baby mamas and 6 kids, and you like, you know what? I ain't gonna be the 7th. He gonna be with me. I'm gonna change him. What scapegoat? She making a choice. So if a woman makes a choice and makes decisions for herself, we have to be responsible for her fucking decisions? It's stupid. Why is anybody giving, like, Umar Johnson is an idiot.
There's good
Can I ask you a
quality men that they ignore.
Why she even got it? Why is there even a Pookie in the selection?
Why is there even a Pookie in the selection? Is you serious? Are you serious? Why is it? You said it already. Why? You said it multiple times. You know why? This system, right? The CIA funded this. They funded that. They didn't just fund the modern feminist movement. They didn't just fund. They funded all kind of shit. They funded the crack movement. They funded all kind of shit. They funded COINTELPRO, not just the CIA, but the government as a whole. The Pookie and Ray Rays came about. Why? Because the Black Panthers were disbanded, and something which gave rise to gangs and all that type of shit. Because every tribe has warriors, right? And if you don't give warriors something to do, they have that warrior spirit. So in my mind, these Pookie and Ray Rays are the warriors of the community. They're not the only warriors. There are warriors they do blue collar work. They don't do that bullshit, but they have that warrior spirit. It's just more controlled. It's more, you know what I'm saying? They bring it out when they need to, and they train it and they hone it. But then you have unguided warriors. Warriors that don't know what to do with that masculine energy that they have, that they want to just go out and just do something violent. Every community has a Pookie and Ray Ray. Whites, blacks, Asians, Native American, Indians, they all have their Pookie and Ray Rays. What are you talking about? Irish, the British, they all have their criminal elements. That's what we're talking about, right? The ain't shit Pookie and Ray Ray type motherfuckers. Every community has a Pookie and Ray Ray. The Irish community has the Seamus and the Sean. The UK community, they have the Wellington and the Worcestershire guy, whatever. You know, they got, you know, the Indians got Nakmook and Bing Bang, and the motherfucking Asians got Ching Chow and Wing Wong. They got this shit. They all got their too. They all got their Pookie and Ray Ray. The Hispanic community, they have the Juan and the Jesus. You know what I'm saying? They all have them. What is he talking about? It doesn't even make any fucking sense. The desperation to be right. Like, oh, well, why do we have a Pookie and Ray Ray in the selection? Because that's just the way shit works. Not everybody's going to be the same. Not everybody's going to be a fucking square, you fucking asshat. There's always going to be that element. There's always going to be that dangerous motherfucker. There's always going to be. That's just what it is. What are you talking about? Dr. Umar Johnson out here pimping these motherfuckers. Pimping. Selling a fucking dream. Selling a dream that we can get rid of the Pookie and Ray Rays. You can't. The Pookie and the Ray Ray will always be around. Okay? The Montagues, and remember the motherfucking Romeo and Juliet? Romeo was a motherfucking Pookie. Understand that? Robin Hood was a motherfucking Pookie. You know, Aegon Targaryen, motherfucking Pookie. Women love Pookies. Women love Pookies. Pookies are here for a good time. And some of these women, they want to have a good time. You know, they want, you know, motherfucker going 9 to 5 and coming home and paying the bills and, you know, kicking their feet up, you know what I'm saying, and maybe going to the gym. Yeah, they're not interested in that at this point in time. It's a lot of women. But it's not just black women, it's women in general. Women like that, like the bad boy type. They're attracted to that. It makes them wet. Okay? You know how they say we think with our dicks? Well, women think when they get wet, they think with their juices, goddammit, like motherfucking shit. Why is it? It's just, what is he, a kid? What is in his mind? Oh, why do we have a Pookie and Riri in the selection? Like, what? I thought he was smarter than this. I thought this guy was smarter than this. He's really not that smart.
No. I'm gonna tell you why there's a Pookie in the selection. Because black men have abandoned black boys and have allowed social media, white media, athletes, and rappers to raise them.
But wait, 2/3 of the children are raised in single mother homes. So how is it that the father is allowing this to happen? You see another contradiction right there? He just said black men are allowing black boys to watch YouTube and entertainment and the screens, right? And be raised by rappers and blah blah and the blue block. But 2/3 of the children are raised by single mothers. How does that work? How does that work? Really? Like, honestly and truly. Like, how does that work? How does that work? Someone explain to me how, if black women, single mother, are raising most of the black boys and most of the black girls, how is it that black men are allowing them to be raised by this, that, and third? Because statistically speaking, when the father's in the household, there is a lot more order. There is more production. The children do better in school. They get in less trouble. When the black father, not even just the black father, when the father, period, right? When the father is in the home, even single father households do not have the problems that single mother households do. That's just the fact. But when the black father's in the home and the black mother's in the home, kids are in less trouble. They do less dirt, right? They become more productive members of society. Those are just facts. But according to him, black men, it's just utter nonsense. It's lies, more lies.
If we never allowed Pookie to develop, she would not have a Pookie. If we're going to be men, the first thing we got to do is take responsibility for why our women feel the way they feel. I can hear that.
I'm not responsible for a woman's goddamn feelings. What are you talking about? Feel? What is this feel shit? You see, emotionalism, pathos. Not logos, not ethos, pathos. We got to make our women feel good. Oh yeah, we got to tell them what they want to hear. We got to rub their feet. We got to do that in the third. Oh yeah, we got to, you sound like motherfucking Jackson. Man, you got me fucked up, homie. Period. I'm sorry. Nope. I'm not responsible for anybody's motherfucking feelings. Fuck that. This goddamn pathos bullshit. Let's use logic and ethics. I am not responsible for how a black woman feels, unless I have direct influence over that woman. Right? I'm not responsible for what that chick down there doing that I don't fucking know. I don't know you. What the fuck what? And don't let there will always idiot. He is an idiot for this one. Like real shit. we got to take responsibility for how these black women feel. Fuck out of here. Either you get with the program or you fucking don't. Divest if you want. Swirl if you want. Go get you a white man. Go get you an Asian man. If you ain't trying to get on our motherfucking program, if you ain't trying to get on a man's program, you want him to be a provider, you want him to be a protector, you want him to be the leader, you want him to do this, you want him to do that, get on this fucking program. If you don't want to get on this fucking program, if you're trying to get with a man like that so you can make him do what you want to do, the fuck out of here with that shit. I'm not about to sit up here and pander to nobody. Not even a black woman. Fuck that. All right? Fuck that. Fuck what Dr. Umar's talking about with this responsible for a woman's feeling. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Fuck this feeling shit. Fuck these feelings. What's with the feelings? Fuck the feelings. We got to deal with reality in this motherfucker. Shit or get off the pot. You don't want to deal with a black man? Get the fuck on. If you want a black man to be a leader, if you want a black man to be a provider, and you want him to do that for the community, get with the fucking program. Sit down, shut the fuck up, and listen until you see that you need to, hey, I got some input. Maybe we can do this in the spirit of cooperation. In the spirit of cooperation. Not just because you want to be right. Not just because you know what I'm saying? The fuck out of here, man. Dr. Umar got me fucked up. Fuck that. Men, women. Listen, if you're an adult woman, you're not responsible for my fucking feelings. No one's ever said that a woman needs to feel responsible for how a man feels. Where the fuck we do that at? Where the fuck? So why the fuck we gotta be responsible for how a woman feels? Shit is what it is. The Pookie and the Ray Way ain't going nowhere. The Juans and the Jesuses ain't going nowhere. Okay? The Romeo and the motherfucking goddamn motherfucking shit like that, motherfucking Seamus and goddamn McDuffie, them motherfuckers ain't going nowhere. It ain't happening. There will always be a dangerous, thuggish, ruggish, criminal element motherfucker in the motherfucking world. Stop trying to fucking paint rainbows and swirls around this motherfucker. In reality, there are dangers that we face every day. It's not going to stop because Dr. Umar Johnson sat there and said, oh, well, let's get rid of the Pookies. You're not going to get rid of the Pookies and Ray Rays. They will always be around. What the fuck are you talking about? Every community has a Pookie and Ray Ray. I'm not going to do it. No. Fuck that shit. I'm not responsible for nobody fucking feelings. Except for my wife and my children's. Why? Because their lives are in my hands. Why? Because my wife submits to me. My wife my wife plays her role. And I get to play my role. She gets with my program. She's on my program. But guess what she did? She bore 6 of my children. She gave birth to 6 of my children, and they're all doing great. She's raising my kids right. She's homeschooling them. She's putting in all this work and energy. She's doing all that shit. Even when I felt like she was spiraling, she was still doing the shit that she was supposed to do. And guess what? I was responsible for, I had to do something. But like I said, when she goes to LA, she does whatever the fuck she wants, she's gonna be responsible for her own actions. Because I'm not there. I'm not gonna be there. You know, my daughter wanted to go LA for her birthday in July. Okay, go on ahead with it. I ain't going to California. Fuck California. I'm done with it. All right. Only thing I did was ask her to bring me some shit from the farmers market because I will say that the LA farmers markets way better than South Carolina's. I tell you that. But anyway, no, I am not responsible for a woman's fucking feelings. Get the fuck out of here. Umar, get the fuck out of here. You got life fucked up. You go on ahead and be responsible. You know what? Hey, announcement. Everybody, Umar Johnson is going to take sole responsibility for a woman's feelings. I'm not doing it. Unless, brother Umar, you want to step up and shoulder all that, go on ahead with it. You got that. I ain't gonna be able to do it. I ain't gonna be able to do it. Can't do it. Won't do it. Fuck that shit. You go on ahead and be responsible for women's feelings. Fuck that. That is the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life. I'm done with this shit. I'm done. I'm done listening to that bullshit. That shit, man, fuck out of here. See, we gotta stop this shit. We gotta stop this shit. All these honeyed words and all this pandering, all this shit. He knows better. We got to fucking stop. He knows good and goddamn well you ain't getting rid of no goddamn Pookie and Ray Ray. I would venture to say that he's half Pookie. You know what I'm saying? Some of these questions was shit. But that's neither here nor there. What I'm saying is you will never get rid of Pookie and Ray Ray. They will always be around. A working class, square ass motherfucker is always going to have to compete harder for a woman than a Pookie and Ray Ray. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. And it's not that square's fault that woman chooses a fucking Pookie and Ray Ray. Get the fuck out of here, Dr. Umar Johnson. Fuck you. All right? Fuck you with that. Fuck off. Shit. Anyway, that's all I got for right now, y'all. Much love. We're going to keep marching forward toward freedom. Like, share, subscribe, all that good shit. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for hitting that like button. Peace.